a deeper dive into the traits that we were talking about. And the way we will do this is to bring out the insights, we are joined by some industry stalwarts today who are passionate about innovation. These are the people who will have conversations with innovators who will share their journeys with you. And for the very first trait that we will talk about today, it's inspiration. So being an innovator is all about being able to draw together lessons from multidisciplinary learnings and blending them together to create a cohesive whole. And I want to show you exactly how this can be done. But first, I want you to hear the sheer beauty of music that's inspired. And ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now present Sonam Kalra of Sufi Gospel Project. Sonam, can we please have you on stage?
Good morning. Thank you so much for inviting us to be part of this absolutely wonderful summit. With me on stage and my co-collaborator is Ehsan Ali, who plays the sarangi, and he also sings. We will present to you the message and the music of the Sufi Gospel Project. The Sufi Gospel Project is an attempt to blend the many voices of faith to find a new definition of equality and Sufism. We will start with a hymn that was the favorite of the father of our nation, Mahatma Gandhi. It is called Abide With Me. It is played at the beating of the retreat every year. And it is essentially a plea to God to always watch over one, to be by one's side. And while we were creating the music of the Sufi Gospel Project, we found a very interesting answer, almost a missing piece of the puzzle, in the words of the Sufi saint Kabir Das, in which he says, "Why do you call to me to watch over you when I am already within you and I am inside you? I am in every breath of every man. Abide with me with a little help from Kabir."
Abide with me. Fast falls the eventide. The darkness deepens. Lord, with me abide. When other helpers and comforts believe. Help of the helpless, oh, abide with me.
मस्जिद में, ना काशी कैलाश में, ना मैं जप में, ना मैं तप में, ना मैं व्रत उपवास में, ना मैं क्रिया कर्म में रहता, ना ही योग संन्यास में, ना ही प्राण में, ना ही पिंड में, ना ब्रह्मांड आकाश में, ना मैं भृकुटी भवर गुफा में, सब श्वासन की श्वास में, खींचे हुए तुरंत मिल जा इस पल की तलाश में। कहे कबीर सुनो भाई साधु, मैं तो हूँ विश्वास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। ना तीरथ में ना मूरत में, ना तीरथ में ना मूरत में, ना एकांत निवास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। मोको कहाँ ढूंढे रे बंदे, मैं तो तेरे पास में। Hold thou thy cross before my closing eyes, shine through the gloom and point me to the skies. Heaven's morning breaks and earth's vain shadows flee. In life, in death, O Lord, abide with me. In life, in death, abide with me.
Thank you, Sonam. That was absolutely wonderful.
I was supposed to be given a cordless mic, but
Yes.
I'll speak on this if that's okay. Thank you.
No, that's all right. Sonam, for the first questions I have for you, since this is a segment about inspiration, where did the inspiration for Sufi Gospel Project come about?
Well, to be honest, I think it was something that I'd been listening to in my head my whole life for many reasons. Growing up in India, being in a very secular country, a country that is supposed to be secular, though that might not always be the case, but hope for a secular country. Growing up, living through the 84 riots, not knowing, I belong to the Sikh religion, not knowing why, I'll use this, don't worry. Not knowing why we were singled out when we belonged to a certain religion. There were all these questions, I think, that I faced growing up. But more specifically, when I started singing gospel music, and a lot of people asked me, they said, you belong to the Sikh religion, so why do you sing Christian music? And at that point, I think the answer hit me, and it was quite simple, that religion isn't God, and that God has no religion. So I should be allowed to call out to him or her in whichever way seems fit and seems right. The idea took greater form when I was called to the Dargah of Sufi Inayat Khan, which is a Sufi Dargah. And I was asked to sing gospel, and I thought I should do something befitting of that opportunity. A girl who belongs supposedly to the Sikh religion, those are labels the world likes to put on us, gets invited to a seemingly Islamic space to sing Christian music. And I felt that I needed to find a new definition of faith and of truth. And the more I discovered, gospel means truth, Sufism means pure, Sufi means pure, Sufism means an acceptance of all humanity to be equal. And I felt that I needed to create a more all-inclusive, perhaps a contemporary definition of this Sufism to something that wasn't restricted just to Urdu poetry or to the ancient, but also in the contemporary, in a conversation I might have with a friend. In John Lennon's Imagine, to my mind, that's one of the most beautiful Sufi songs ever written, because he talks of a world without borders. And so I think I started listening to everything. I opened my eyes and I imbibed everything that I heard, that I saw. I wrote it down. I filed it into the back of my head. And then I sort of worked with my Ehsan, who was here. We started to work together to create it and find sort of interpretations of this resonance of truth, through which were led by intellect, but always guided by intuition, to create a seamlessness. So that's what we did.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And Sona, we have a question for you. How do you balance all these different influences to create a cohesive whole?
Deepika, I think that when you know the end result, or you know what you want to say, it's just a question of how you go about saying it. And I knew where I wanted to reach. And the exciting thing for me, and I often say this, because I know I want to talk of oneness and I want to talk of equality, I want to talk of a world without labels. I want to talk of a place where these labels don't matter, these boundaries don't matter. I want to do it through music. So then I'm able to find different influences. Like I said, I look for resonances. Sometimes I use jazz, and I will blend it together with the percussive Indian. So I might sing a hallelujah, and I might blend it together with a padhant. I might do dha takita dha takita dha takita takita takita, and just sort of flow it into an Indian space. Or when Ehsan and I sat to work on hallelujah, another version of hallelujah. For so long we were just singing it as hallelujah, and then suddenly we realized that hallelujah is hail be Lord, glory be God. And we realized Allahu, which means Allah is the truth. Allahu and hallelujah were just reflections, mirror images of each other. And we realized that so many of these things were all coming together to say the same thing to us, to be revealed as truths to us. So we found things that were from seemingly disparate cultures, even times, regions, genres of music, and we realized that at the end of the day, they were saying the same thing. And if we were to listen to each other, perhaps we might realize we are all saying the same thing in different ways. So balancing it really is the exciting part of it, to be able to take it all, to be able to blend it together and find something that feels right in my heart. So I trust my heart a lot, and I know where I have to get to. And it's lovely because many different languages get created along the way, many different interpretations get created along the way.
Thank you, Sonam. And I don't know if this is not inspiring, what is?